Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Boys of Winter podcast. I'm Mason Spesky, your host with you. We are recapping games 26 to 30 on the Penguins' schedule this year. It was a pretty good stretch, to be honest with you. They went 3-2 on this stretch, it appears, so that's definitely good for sure. Last night was a good night for me because it was truly like my first night to sit down and actually get the chance to watch this team since I went to the game. Things have just been busy. The last couple games I didn't watch the Florida game at all. I was busy that night. Then the Arizona-Montreal game, I was studying for finals during both of those, which went well, I think. And then Toronto, I was watching the Steelers and venting about them. So I haven't watched much hockey this year. I'm hopeful as the season goes on, though, I'll get to watch some more and follow it some more now that the Steelers appear to be done and are winding down and football season is winding down. So hopefully more hockey's on the way. I'll get the most in depth to what I saw about last night, but we'll discuss them in order. Florida defeated the Penguins on December the 8th by a final score of 3-1 in Sunrise, Florida. Big win for sure for the Panthers. Penguins, this put them in a tough place, and this loss hurt, considering the fact that we lost every game that week. The Flyers and the Lightning as well. That was in my last podcast. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't pretty for sure, that game. However, the next week, things got a whole lot better. We came home to play the Arizona Coyotes. We got a 4-2 win over the Arizona Coyotes. This was definitely a good win to have. I was very happy about the fact that we won this game. Big win for Arizona. That is for sure. So, good job for the good job for the Penguins getting that win. I remember it was even the whole way throughout. 1-1, 2-2, and then Pittsburgh pulled away and won the game 4-2. So, that's how you have to do it, guys. That was a good win, and I was impressed by that. So, good job. Penguins then turned around. They were down big in Montreal. They were down 3-1, I think. Then I think Crosby had a goal or two. That brought him back in it. It was 3-3. Then it went to overtime, no scoring. Then it ultimately went to a shootout where the Penguins defeated the Montreal Canadiens by a final score of 4-3 in a shootout. So those were two big wins, and it looked like the Pens had momentum going into Saturday night. However, the Toronto Maple Leafs had other plans as they defeated the Pens by a final score of 7-0. Insane. This was crazy. I was upset about this one. 7-0. I know we started a lot of young people, but this was just embarrassing. It marked a rough Saturday for Pittsburgh sports, for sure. Then, last night, the Pens came home, defeated the Minnesota Wild by a final score of 4-3. Marc-Andre Fleury did not start for the Pens as... Oh, wow. Never mind, I'm sorry. I'll tell you later. Marc-Andre Fleury did not start for the Penguins Marc-Andre Fleury did not start for the Wild as they started their backup. This was likely his last visit to Pittsburgh, as he's expected to retire at the conclusion of the season. So that's definitely interesting. That is for sure. But good job, though, to the Pens pulling out this win. The only thing that was disappointing was we were up 3-0. We found a way to let Minnesota march back into it and make it 3-3. Then we ultimately scored to win the game. That was disappointing for sure, the fact that we allowed them back in it. But a win's a win, and we got the job done. So good job for the Pens, that's for sure. Anyway, now we're going to take a quick look at the NHL standings and where the Pens stand right now compared to the league and what's going on around the league. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to start off in the East with the Atlantic Division. The Boston Bruins are first place, 43 points. Maple Leafs are in second place, 38 points. Panthers are in third, 38 points. Red Wings are in fourth, 34 points. Tampa Bay Lightning, they're in fifth, 33 points. They're struggling this year compared to past years. Sixth place is the Canadiens, 32 points. Seventh place is Buffalo Sabres with 29 points. And eighth place is the Senators with 22 points. In the Metropolitan Division right now, the Rangers, who are looking really good this year, leading our division with 43 points. Flyers, surprisingly, are in second place. Their rebuild's progressing nicely, 37 points. Islanders looking good this year, 36 points. Capitals this year looking better than most people expected. I expected them to be good, but they're looking better than most expected because I know sometimes I'm better than the people who predict, sometimes I'm worse. It's just life. But anyway, the fifth is the Capitals with 34 points. Sixth are the Devils with 33 points. Seventh are the Pens with 31 points. And eighth are the Blue Jackets with 25 points. Not where you'd want to be, but it's certainly not a bad place to be. The season's still young. There's still a lot of hockey left to be played, so not bad at all. Let's take a quick look at the West now. Dallas, 40 points. Colorado, 40 points. Those are 1 and 2 in the Central Division. Third are the Winnipeg Jets with 39 points. Fourth are the Nashville Predators with 36 points. Fifth, surprisingly doing good this year, are the Arizona Coyotes with 32 points. They actually have one more point than Pittsburgh, so that's surprising. That was a good win then over the Coyotes. Good job. Sixth, the Blues with 31 points. I think they just fired their coach, unfortunately. Seventh are the Wild, who we beat last night with 28 points. And eighth are the Blackhawks with 19 points. That loss looks really bad now. And the fact that we let Minnesota back in that game looks really bad now, if you think about it. Last but not least, the Pacific Division. Golden Knights, defending Cup champions, leading out with 47 points. Canucks, 44 points, are in second place. They surprised me this year a little bit. I know most people expected them to be good, but I didn't, so that's surprising to me. Third, we have the Kings of LA, 38 points. Fourth, Calgary Flames, 31 points. Fifth, Seattle Kraken, 29 points. Sixth, Edmonton Oilers, 27 points. Surprisingly, they're not doing good this year. That's a little bit of a surprise, but I expected that kind of. They're going to kick it on the end. Just watch. So, not surprising now, but at the end, I think they'll kick it on. Seventh are the Ducks with 24 points, and eighth are the Sharks with 21 points. They're surprisingly not the worst team in the league, as Chicago now is. Which is surprising with Bedard. Kelsey said something interesting about him, too. I forget what it was, but Travis Kelsey did make an interesting comment about him on his podcast, and he liked it. Bedard did. The second wild card team right now is the Capitals with 34 points. We have 31 points, so we're only 3 points back in that last wild card spot. That's not a bad place to be at all if you're the Penguins. Definitely a lot of hockey left to be played. This will definitely be an interesting stretch, that's for sure. Speaking of which, now we're going to take the opportunity to look at and preview the upcoming stretch. Thursday night, they have Carolina at home. Saturday night, last game before the holiday, they head to Ottawa to take on the Senators. Then after that, it's on to New York to take on the Islanders. Then 2 games at home against the Blues and the Islanders. So that will definitely be an interesting 5 games for sure. The Islanders game is Sunday, December 31st. I'll try to have a video up either New Year's Day or the day after, January 2nd, in regards to these next 5 games as we approach the All-Star break and get closer to the halfway mark. So only 3 more videos I believe we have left after this one until that halfway point, maybe even 2. So it's definitely getting closer. It's definitely creeping up. So yeah, definitely getting interesting. And once the second half hits, the Pens need to kick it in full gear if they want to make the playoffs. If not, it's probably time for the rebuild to begin. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. Merry Christmas. Enjoy this holiday. Spend it with your loved ones. Be happy this Christmas. I hope you guys have a great one. Take care. Stay safe. Pray for Israel. Merry Christmas. And as always, happy holidays as well. And as always, peace. See you in 2024, everybody.